My smart fridge exposed 10 years of paternity fraud, and I took everything. The fridge ratted us out. Not the neighbor, not a PI. Our stainless steel grocery boss with a calendar. One tap on its cheerful touchscreen, and 10 years of girls' nights lined up with call Dan after practice reminders and my wife's whisper. Camera thumbnails I didn't know existed. Timestamps that put her in a kitchen cuddle with not me while I was stuck in traffic buying almond milk. The dog blinked. The fridge hummed. My life recalculated. Hold that thought. This isn't a tragedy. It's a comedy with receipts. I took the house, custody, and her narrative, politely, because the best revenge is boring paperwork that lands on time. And yes, the DNA said exactly what the fridge implied. How did we get here? Rewind to the button I pressed because I was out of eggs and curiosity. A smart appliance was supposed to order groceries, not subpoena my marriage, but it did both, beautifully. Our perfect routine with a lying appliance. On paper, we were fine. Suburban grid, kid with a backpack that weighed more than the dog, me and coffee autopilot humming through breakfasts. I cooked. She scheduled. The house ran like a respectable spreadsheet. Thursdays were hers, girls' night, and I joked the fridge kept better attendance than I did. She loved that thing. Her splurge. My running gag. Yes, your frostiness. I'd say when it scolded me for buying lettuce twice. It synced our calendars, nagged us for milk, played lo-fi while I flipped pancakes. We let it run the kitchen like a petty manager with a badge. I called myself a tech genius because I could pair a Bluetooth speaker before caffeine. Truth. The fridge was smarter than me and more observant than both of us. It logged, it tagged, it politely asked if I wanted to reorder the exact yogurt she liked after spin. We were a brand partnership. Dad, mom, kid, Bean the dog, and Officer IceBox, our only honest roommate. The hairline crack started on Thursdays, always busy. Always eucalyptus body wash when she got in, long shower, tough class. I shrugged. People sweat, marriages commute. Then our kid mentioned Coach Dan like he was a cartoon. Big voice, bigger calves, always at Thursday practice. I laughed it off and kissed their forehead. Routine was our religion. Morning chaos, school drop, dinner at 6-ish. She'd float a last minute, I promised Jess we'd meet, always Thursday. The fridge chirped reminders I never set. Call Dan after practice. I thought it misheard Dad. I told the screen, it's DAD. It pulsed like it knew better. If you're waiting for drama, sorry. The world didn't explode. The coffee still brewed. The perfect routine just kept walking, right toward the stupid little button I'd press because I wanted to see what the fridge knew about eggs. Kid drops the accidental truth. It happened over cereal. Our kid squinted at me, spoon midair. Why does Coach Dan have my eyebrows? I performed a perfect spit take with air. What? They shrugged like it was a weather report. At practice, he makes faces like me, see? They arched both brows in synchronized disbelief. Nailed it. I laughed too loud. Genetics are weird. Inside, a tiny drummer started warming up. They kept going. Mom says he's funny. He calls her Thursday Captain. That's not a real team, right? My smile put on a uniform. Nope, totally not a team. Profile on Dan. Gym bro, league jerseys, motivational memes, neighbor-adjacent family friend with an emoji habit. He ran the rec league Thursday nights, which, sure, coincidentally overlapped with wine and women's empowerment every week. I rinsed bowls. The kid added the kicker, casual as clouds. The fridge talked to Mom about him. It said, call Dan after practice? And Mom whispered, not now. Then it beeped. They took their backpack and bounced. I stood in the kitchen like a suspect in front of a very shiny witness. I'd been teasing that fridge for months, our bossy rectangle that knew when we ran out of mustard and hope. Suddenly, it felt like the only adult who'd been paying attention. I tapped the screen. Family Hub. Voice history. A log pulled up like a polite snitch. Remind me to call Dan after practice. Her voice hushed. Timestamp. Thursday, 9:18 p.m. Another, add eucalyptus wash. Another, timer for 45 minutes, aligned with rec league wrap-up. Micro joke to myself. The fridge disagrees. I found a camera tab I didn't know existed. Internal view, sure. Eggs, yogurt, judgment, but also a front-facing thumbnail feature for the screensaver. Little squares of our kitchen when somebody waved for recipes. Thursday, 9:41 p.m. Two silhouettes, close, in our kitchen light. Not explicit, just enough to make your stomach read subtitles. I argued with the appliance. Play last reminder. It did. Her whisper again. The fridge offered to translate. I didn't need it. Curiosity beat denial the way gravity beats optimism. I exported logs to my phone like I was saving a playlist. I mapped Thursdays, league schedule, rainouts, girls' nights, receipts. The kid's question kept looping. Why does Coach Dan have my eyebrows? I told myself eyebrows are communal property. Then I caught the fridge asking, should I add almond milk for Saturday pancakes? And remembered the first time I made those pancakes while she slept in after a late night planning session. Bean thumped his tail. The fridge hummed. I exhaled. If the box was snitching, I was listening. Not to explode, to verify, to keep breakfasts normal while I pulled the thread. I patted the door like a badge. Thank you for your service, officer. The screen blinked back the weather. Thursday. Partly lies with a chance of recorded reminders. The fridge has receipts. I started where any reasonable person would. Menus I never use, and a settings icon I always ignore. Family Hub opened its polite little archive like a librarian with tea. Voice history. Play. Her whisper spilled out of stainless steel. Remind me to call Dan after practice. Timestamp Thursday, 9:18 p.m. Another clip. Order eucalyptus wash. Same night. The machine even showed the cloud icon. Saved, synced, blessed by metadata. I scrolled deeper. A transcription panel I swear I'd never seen offered keywords. Dan appeared like a gopher every Thursday. Timer 45. Playlist, motivation mix. Add almond milk. The pattern clicked so clean it squeaked. Practices ended. Motivation mixed. Almond milk reappeared like a chaperone with boundary issues. Then I found the camera section, not the inside the eggs guilt shots. A screensaver capture log. Tiny thumbnails pinged whenever someone waved for recipes or music. It grabbed the room like a doorbell cam that loved groceries. Thursday, 9:41 p.m. Her shoulder, his cap. Two outlines leaning into each other in our kitchen light. Next Thursday, same angle, different shirt, same gravity. Nothing obscene. Everything obvious. I argued with metal. Play Last Dan reminder. The fridge obeyed like a butler who'd gone to law school. The waveform bloomed, the timestamp stamped, the GPS tag said home. I exported the clips, the stills, the voice text to my phone like I was packing a parachute. Chain of custody by moron. Email, drive, backup on the tablet labeled movies because I'm not above camouflage. To be fair, because I'm that guy, I looked for false positives. Did it ever mishear dad as Dan? I searched dad. Hundreds of pancake reminders, spelling quiz timers, call dad Sunday. All me. Distinct vowels, clean as glass. I asked the fridge, who is Dan? It blinked a contact suggestion from our household accounts I didn't remember approving. Coach's number. Thursday practice. His emoji flexed at me like a misdemeanor. I checked notification history. The fridge had been pinging her phone with practice ended, call Dan, courtesy of a linked calendar she set up when she bought this aluminum detective. The device had receipts because it was literally designed to have receipts. Cloud voice logs, thumbnail captures, calendar echoes. And I, loyal pancake captain, had been nodding at the hum like it was white noise instead of testimony. Comedy break because I needed one. I asked, Bixby, are we out of fidelity? It didn't understand. Reasonable. Then it asked if I wanted to reorder trust. Tempting. I stood there, cataloging the quiet crimes of convenience. The fridge sent me the export bundle with a chirp that sounded smug. I mapped the timestamps over league schedules, rainouts, and her girls' night blocks. Rainout? Screensaver shows two people in our kitchen. Doubleheader? No screen captures. Of course. When he wasn't free, nobody waved at recipes. Bean tapped my shin and sneezed like punctuation. I patted his head and saluted the door. Officer IceBox, you're promoted. The screen flashed a shopping list. Almond milk, eucalyptus. I added, truth. Then I opened a new folder on my phone called Boring Revenge and put our future in it. One polite, undeniable clip at a time. Spiral of red flags, but make it funny. So I did what any calm adult with a snitching refrigerator would do. I opened Excel and pretended it was therapy. Thursdays went in one column, Dan's league schedule in another, and the weather, because rainouts are romantically efficient, right beside them. It lined up like a confession that could do algebra. League nights overlapped girls' night. Rainouts matched movie at home. Doubleheaders, silence in my kitchen, and coincidentally, fewer eucalyptus orders. Uber receipts started winking at me. Drop-off, gym side bar and grill, 11:07 p.m. Cute name for a moral failing. Meanwhile, my bank showed charges at a boutique for a body wash that smells like an expensive koala. I don't begrudge hygiene. I just never saw eucalyptus happen on a Tuesday. Her stories got bold and wrong, like improv without a suggestion. Last week was, we did pottery. Cool. The bar's Instagram posted the sluggers. Hi, Dan. Holding a trophy that same night. The skew got artistic. Traffic was insane, while the map said, 6 minutes, babe. I didn't yell. I adopted a new religion. The fridge disagrees. Anytime a lie tripped in our house, I'd sip water and muse. Huh, the fridge disagrees. The dog started wagging on cue. Geotags did what geotags do. Her photos, supposedly at Jess's, carried the gym's tiny location badge like a tattletale sticker. Receipts wore timestamps that cuddled the fridge's voice logs. 45-minute timer? $46 appetizer bill. Dan's team posted boomerangs at O'Malley's. Our calendar said, Women's Circle? Maybe the circle had beer specials. I got petty with precision. I cross-referenced practice end times with the fridge's happy little nudges. Practice ended. Call Dan? If I had any lingering romance left for technology, it was gone. The software was better at marriage counseling than we were. I asked the fridge to add almond milk. It said, again? Passive-aggressive. Fair. Then the rainout pattern smacked me. 3 separate storms, 3 separate Thursday movie nights, 3 separate screensaver thumbnails of 2 shapes reorganizing boundaries in my kitchen. I tried to rationalize. Maybe they were discussing casserole. Maybe casseroles require proximity. Bean looked at me like, Sir, right. The comedy kept trying to save me. I'd mutter to the stainless steel, if this is a misunderstanding, blink twice. It humored me by humming. I renamed our family hub profile Officer IceBox because if the house was going to police anything, it might as well run with it. I asked, Officer, your report? The screen offered me a shopping list and a forecast, cloudy with timestamps. Then came the messages that aged poorly. She told a friend, traffic wild, home soon, while my phone, connected to the same cloud, chirped with, playlist started, motivation mix. The playlist description literally says, no breaks, no excuses. Ma'am, even our dog's walk tracker got involved. Bean's Thursday loops were shorter because I was home alone doing bedtime. Meanwhile, her step count spikes matched rec league finals. If your Fitbit can testify, mine was under oath. I didn't want to blow up. I wanted a lab result. So I humor tested boundaries without saying a fair. Want me to grab you after practice? I texted. She replied, already riding with Jess. Jess posted from Denver 2 months ago. Geography disagrees. The fridge disagrees. Frankly, the zip code disagrees. Last nudge, a loyalty email from O'Malley's congratulating her on Gold Tier Thursdays. Gold Tier Thursdays. I laughed in the driveway until Bean looked concerned. So yes, the spiral was loud, but I kept it funny for one reason. Our kid. Pancakes still flipped. Spelling quizzes still happened. When she floated, we're doing trivia, I said. Great. Category, timestamps. She didn't laugh. The fridge beeped. Officer IceBox had already filed the paperwork. I was just filing my face into neutral. And in the center of the chaos, one clean sentence kept me steady. The fridge disagrees. Every time a story twisted, the calendar hummed the truth. The bank nodded, the weather clapped, and the thumbnails sighed. By the end of that week, I wasn't hunting drama. I was labeling it, quietly, accurately, with a little eucalyptus on the side. Quiet science project, verifying the big thing. So I did the opposite of dramatic. I made pancakes, packed lunches, and built a quiet lab out of clipboards and calm. No speeches, no midnight cross exams, just a dad doing a science project where the hypothesis was, let's not torch childhood while we fact check. Step 1, call a lawyer who sounds like a seatbelt. I booked a consult, led with, my fridge is a witness, and she didn't hang up. She said 3 words I could breathe through. Slow, quiet, methodical. Legal grade paternity testing, chain of custody, preserve every digital log. If the box is snitching, let it snitch into a PDF. I kept our routine laminated. Spelling quiz at breakfast. Jacket on the chair. Bean's leash in my back pocket. My kid never felt the temperature drop because jokes are handrails and bedtime stories don't care about metadata. I was Switzerland with syrup. The fridge's exports went into a folder named housekeeping. Screenshots, voice transcripts, screenshots of the transcripts, summaries of the screenshots. Because I'm that guy. I backed them to a boring cloud with a boring name and wrote a boring note. Timestamps, sources, no speculation. Courts love boring. Then I met the lawyer. Beige office, serious plants. I slid over the bundle like a sandwich I'd overbuilt. She skimmed, nodding at Officer IceBox's gumshoe work. You'll want a formal test, she said. Clinic swabs, witnessed, sealed, and keep living as you live. Status quo wins custody. Translation: stay normal, save everything, let the facts walk. I booked the lab for Friday. The confirmation email looked like a dentist appointment. Good. I added it too. A shared calendar labeled practical because we're done with vibes. I texted her, appointment Friday, 10:30, legal purposes. She typed back, okay. No emojis, good sign or empty battery. Either way, fine. Meanwhile, I organized money like a triage nurse. I froze the joint card at a lower limit, opened a dedicated account for kid things, and set alerts that scream at $20. Not punitive, preventative. Mozzarella sticks may be innocent. Hotel vitamins are not. I called the therapist my lawyer recommended, child specialist, calm voice. She gave me phrases that fit in a small mouth. Families are built lots of ways. Love is the job. Information doesn't change who tucks you in. We'll need an age-appropriate plan, I said. I wrote them on a sticky note like a script I intended to pass. Bean supervised everything by snoring. I built a binder, tabs for fridge, calendar, bank, weather, lab. It looked like a parent-teacher conference for my marriage. I added a cheat sheet for myself. No yelling, no guessing, only yes or no questions. If I got the urge to editorialize, I would go fold laundry. I told the fridge, play last reminder. It did. I told myself, keep breathing. I did. I asked the family hub to order eggs. It tried to sell me therapy, basically. I declined, already booked. Then came the micro conversation with her that didn't set anything on fire. I said, I'm scheduling a test to close the loop. We'll keep it clinical, quick, and offstage for the kid. She stared at the sink like it owed her a speech and said, okay. I nodded, not cruel. Thank you. We stood in the same kitchen, different countries, and loaded the dishwasher like diplomats. I pinged Mark, the mirror, not the enemy. Legal test Friday, I wrote. We'll handle this in writing. No contact with my kid until we have a plan with the therapist. Agree? He replied fast. Agree. Another text, softer. I'm sorry. Accepted, not cashed. In the margins, I did school drop-offs early so I could breathe before work. I explained none of it to Bean, who is terrible with confidentiality. I wrote one sentence a night in a notebook so my insides had somewhere to go. Today, the fridge disagreed. I didn't. Thursday slid by in polite daylight. She floated her routine, late class, and I said, calendar updated? She typed it in like an oath. Bean and I made grilled cheese, watched a cartoon, and pretended the world was only cheddar and credits. At 9, the fridge blinked a weather alert. I let it. Not every beep is a betrayal. By bedtime, the house felt oddly honest. Same walls, fewer ghosts. The lab appointment sat on the calendar like a cliff edge we'd already decided to walk down together, one careful step at a time. I tucked in my kid and used the script in my head. Love is the job. I don't miss shifts. The smoking gun recording. It happened by accident, like all the best plot twists. I was scrolling the Family Hub app on my phone, exporting, labeling, feeling very chain of custody chic, when I noticed a tiny mic icon next to one of the Thursday reminders. I tapped it, expecting the same whisper. Instead, the app offered a linked ambient capture. New phrase, new dread. For the record, she enabled the Hey Fridge, always listening feature during setup, consented to cloud storage, and linked her phone, which is why my lawyer said the capture was discoverable and admissible. I hit play. The kitchen came alive in grainy audio. The fridge hum, a cabinet thud, Bean's collar. Then her voice, closer than any memory. He thinks the kid is his. No metaphor. No room to hope she meant the dog. Silence, like the house forgot how to breathe. Then his voice, the protein meme in Human. Babe, don't freak out. We've got this. Papers rustled. He added, with the confidence of a man who eats dumbbells. I can pick up extra shifts at the gym. Protein and panic. She whispered, he's a good dad. He said, you're a good mom. Then he tried math. If we keep it quiet, nobody has to hurt. The sentence tripped over its own shoelaces and lay there wheezing. I didn't throw the phone. I didn't yell. I paused, rewound, listened again like an auditor. The metadata stacked. Timestamp, device ID, file hash. The fridge had captured a whisper that didn't belong to groceries. I saved it to 3 places and wrote a deadpan note. Content, admission, voices, her, him, tone, Delusional. Bean looked up at me. I said, Officer IceBox did not need to go that hard. He sneezed, like, agreed. I sent the clip to my email, to a hard drive named Lamp, and to a folder called Blueberries, because if anyone was going to snoop, let them get a smoothie recipe instead. Then I transcribed it, word for word, commas where the air broke. A therapist would call that processing. I call it not setting the house on fire. Later, when the kitchen was empty and safe, I stood in front of the stainless face and said, "Play last ambient capture." The fridge obeyed with a beep that felt like a nod. Same whisper. Same panic promises. Same plan that aged like milk. I didn't need their apologies. I had their sentences. He tried to be heroic again on the recording. If he finds out, I'll tell him I'll help. I'm not a bad guy. She exhaled a laugh that didn't survive. You wear your wedding ring to my house, she said. We are not good people. The fridge hummed like a judge. I texted my lawyer. We have audio. She replied, back up. Don't confront yet. Metadata preserved? I wrote back, baptized. She sent a thumbs up and the world's calmest smiley. I also booked myself a solo session with my therapist for the next morning, sanity before strategy, because calm doesn't happen by accident. Just to be sure, I checked the app permissions. The ambient setting was part of a Hey Fridge feature she'd enabled so it could catch commands without yelling. The manual calls it improved responsiveness. My lawyer calls it discoverable evidence. I call it the moment the comedy grew teeth. I listened once more because I needed to believe my ears over my fear. Her line, crisp and brutal. He thinks the kid is his. Not was. Is. Present tense with a date stamp. Then the softest thing she ever said, almost swallowed. I wanted it to be true. It didn't help. It hurt right where love keeps spare batteries. I whispered to the room, okay, not forgiveness, permission to proceed. Screenshots and clips stacked like clean dishes. I made a short internal checklist. Voice logs, thumbnails, calendar overlaps, bank trail, weather map, and now the ambient confession. I wrote a label for the folder. Evidence, not entertainment. I refused to replay it for pain. I replayed it for proof. Then I let the humor back in. Because if you can't laugh at shattered assumptions while exporting WAV files from your refrigerator, what are we even doing? I tapped the mic icon and said, Officer IceBox, please note I am both impressed and terrified. The assistant chimed, here are some recipes for icebox cake. Close enough. I texted Mark the facts. We have you on audio. It's in the lawyer's hands. We stick to the plan. He replied, understood. No excuses, no emojis. Growth or survival. That night, I cooked something simple that didn't need knives. We ate in the quiet like athletes stretching before a marathon. She rinsed dishes without meeting my eyes. I didn't force it. I tucked the kid in with 2 pages, extra bad joke, standard forehead check. The script still works when the stage shakes. In the guest room, I pressed play once more, the way you press a bruise to see if it's healing. Same lines, same ghosts. I closed my eyes and pictured a courtroom where a stainless rectangle sits in a tiny chair, right hand raised. The stenographer coughs. The judge says, state your name for the record. And the fridge replies, Family Hub, Your Honor, also known as the truth. I fell asleep in a house that finally spoke. And the next morning, I woke up not to vengeance, but to a to-do list. Backups verified, lawyer briefed, therapist booked, pancake mix stocked, bean at the door. Love is the job. We clock in on time.